Okay, can you guys see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Perfect.
And Raquel, it does show for attendees.
Well, I'll go ahead and start the broadcast in 3, 2, 1.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this virtual groundbreaking ceremony for the Las Positas and Modoc Road multi-use path. I'm Paul Casey. I'm the city administrator. I'm kicking us off today. Thank you all for watching live. We're also taping this for future distribution as well. Appreciate you participating in this virtual groundbreaking. This is our first ever virtual groundbreaking. We did a virtual ribbon cutting on the 500 Street Bridge, and that worked out really well. So we decided to double down and do this for this very exciting project. This is a tremendous project that has been decades in the making, and it's so exciting to see it come to fruition. And I know we've got a lot of excitement in the community about it as well, which is wonderful. We have a lot of honored guests who are part of the program, and so thank you for participating, and we'll get to them in a second. I also see that Councilwoman Kristen Sneddon is on the line as well, so thank you, Kristen, for being here and participating. So today is special for us because, like I said, this project has been a long time in the making. It goes back to the early 1970s as a dream about connecting neighborhoods and providing safe bicycle transportation throughout the community. I want to congratulate staff for seeing this to fruition along with everyone else involved, but staff in particular for working with the Active Transportation Grant, which is the funding source that we've been able to receive to help make this a reality. And those are major efforts to apply for and to be successful in. And so a big shout out and congratulations to the staff on that. So we'll have more congratulations as we go along, which is what we do. I want to thank the consultants who worked on the project, the community for their engagement and support in helping to push this along, and a shout out to all the different boards and committees within the city that have touched this project and have made it better. In particular, we've worked with the Creeks Committee, the Parks and Recreation Commission, the Transportation and Circulation Committee, the Street Tree Advisory Committee, the Architectural Board of Review, and the Planning Commission. And so a lot of people have touched this, made it the project that it is, and we're super excited. And thank you, of course, to the City Council, this council and past councils for their leadership and vision to support this project going forward. So again, thank you for coming here. And with that, I'd like to continue on with the presentations and introduce our mayor, Kathy Murillo.
Thank you so much, Paul. And I'm grateful that everyone is here celebrating with us today. The Las Positas and Modoc Roads multi-use path is a Vision Zero project. We'll hear more about that. It creates a safe separation of bicyclists, runners, and pedestrians from higher speed vehicle traffic along Las Positas and Modoc Roads. It's 2.6 miles. It connects the community to critical local and regional destinations. So celebrating with us today are members from the California Transportation Commission. They're responsible for making this project happen. Caltrans is here, SBCAG, the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments, our city council, the city's Transportation and Circulation Committee, yay, the project team and their team of consultants making this happen too. So city staff is here, members of COAST, the Coalition for Sustainable Transportation, SB Bike. We have Assembly Member Monique Limon. And so this is how the ceremony is going to go. Rob Dayton, he's our Transportation Planning and Parking Manager, who will tell us about the history of the project. Ashley Hsu, she's the Principal Engineer and Project Manager, and she'll talk about design. My colleague, Councilmember Eric Friedman, will talk to us about the path's critical community connections. And we have some video, and Assembly Member Limon is gracing us today. So let's go to Rob Dayton. Is he ready?
I am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming out for this time. It's extremely exciting moment. If you can't see the slide and you're not getting a visual, we're showing the original bicycle master plan from 1974. Actually, the city has done 3. We're on a 3rd bicycle master plan. And in that master plan in 1974 is the line on the map for the Las Positas Valley, for the path that we're celebrating, the shovel turning today about this construction. And let me tell you, in my career, I came to the city in 1991. Actually, just a shout out to Ellie Langer. I noticed she's on the call. She was one of the first council members that I had the privilege of serving. I remember looking through this throughout the first decade of my career in the 90s, thinking there is no way we will ever be building this. Too expensive, too disruptive, creek going next to it. Would it be awesome? Yes. Will it happen? Probably not. And so we kind of went through with looking at that line of the map. We transferred it to the 1998 bicycle master plan, and then this crazy thing happened. Caltrans wanted us to take over Route 225, and we did. We had a little bit more say in what was going on in that right of way, and started to see the beginnings of possibility for this valley. So next slide. Vision Zero is extremely important to us. This was a highway, very difficult to feel safe on 225 when it was that. Now Las Positas Valley, high speed limit, and then also we've had some deaths. It's just people going off the road, hitting a bicyclist or a pedestrian, and we want to have 0 of that in the future. And this project gives us that hope that we will have 0. Next slide. I want to talk just a little bit about the grant that goes into this. And the first time we did this grant, I want to acknowledge that one of the key people that's on this call that actually helped design this grant is Lori Waters. She's the Associate Deputy Director of the California Transportation Commission, and through her leadership and the team, they developed this grant process that is just unlike anything we'd ever seen, where the merits of the project, regardless of location in California, really led the day. And when our staff just said, we're gonna go for the line on the map in Las Positas Valley, and they said, and I was just like, really? I mean, is this gonna work out? Could this grant even do that? And we went for that first design grant and got the $1.37 million for that, and then started designing this project. And then we came back with the construction project, and guess what? We didn't get the money. We were this close. We were just 1 point away from getting the money. And so actually Lori and her team came down. We had some bike rides on the west side about some other projects, and we just really encouraged. We're like, you gave us this 1.37. We designed the project. We just, we don't want to waste that money. We want to get to the finish line. So they had some extra money from one of the cycles, and they went to bat for us. And now we're here at this moment, having designed this project. We're going to go actually to the next slide. So it's a $15.56 million construction project. The concept of planning was amazing, working a lot of Mesa residents who are on the call, and Hidden Valley residents, West Side residents, and laying, that you could see in that one picture, laying the entire corridor on one map so you could look at it, being in the field, seeing where the rubber met the road in terms of how we're going to get there. Creek's very helpful in helping us get there. And then before I hand it over to Ashley, I just want to say that Jessica Grant, who's on our team, she's the supervising transportation planner. She has done amazing work throughout this project. She actually started in transportation, went up to planning, community development, came back to finish this. And I just want to celebrate her, give her a shout out for the amazing work she's done to get us at this point. And I'll hand it over to our principal engineer, Ashley Hsu.
Thank you, Rob. It's truly been an honor to work on such an incredible project with an incredible team. I began managing the project when we received the grant money back in 2014. And so for the past 6 years, I've had the opportunity to work on this complex, challenging, yet rewarding project, the most challenging and rewarding of my career to date. And so I'm really thrilled to see it moving into construction now, finally becoming a reality as a result of the hard work and dedication of our entire team and the ongoing support of our community. I did want to thank our design consultant, RRM Design Group. They were hired as our design consultant in May of 2015. And specifically, I'd like to thank our project manager, Brian Hannigan, civil engineer, Brian Redson, and their sub-consultants, Bengal Engineering, ATE, and Wood, formerly AMEC. The first step in the environmental process was to identify constraints and opportunities. And some of the key constraints that made the design so challenging for this project include existing topography and the steep slopes through the valley, environmentally sensitive areas, mature trees, and existing utilities and retaining walls. Throughout the concept design and environmental review process, as Rob mentioned, we gained input from the community through public workshops and through the review of numerous boards and commissions. And the Planning Commission ultimately approved the environmental document and our coastal development permit in February of 2017, which was a really significant project milestone. With environmental clearance, we were then able to begin final design and really start digging into the details and working through all the design challenges presented to us. And the next few slides show renderings of the pathway at several locations along the route. And I just wanted to highlight some of the key project design features. The pathway is going to be a fully ADA compliant, 12-foot wide separated multi-use path. And the path will be separated from the roadway either by a vertical curb with a planted parkway or by a physical barrier in some of the more constrained areas where we were tight on space. The project incorporates stormwater treatment features, which will improve and enhance water quality. It includes a new traffic signal at the Elings Park entrance on Las Positas, which will provide a safe crossing to and from the park from the pathway. New landscaping, street trees, and habitat restoration are incorporated into the project, as well as lighting at each path crossing along with shorter crossings for pedestrians, which enhances the safety for the entire area. So after 5 years of design, final design was completed in March of 2020, and the project was finally ready to go out to bid for the construction contract. And this, as I mentioned, is a really complex project. It required extensive coordination between city divisions and across departments. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a whole host of city team members that made this project possible. So I'd like to take a moment and thank and appreciate the following both current and former city employees who haven't yet been mentioned today, who all played a key role in getting the project to this point. Derek Bailey, Jessica Grant, Brian Demore, David Thornburg, Alexis Flores, Alex Ubaldo, Sarah Iza, Ruby Rajbanshi, Megan Arcienega, Dan Gullett, Pat Kelly, Andrew Grubb, and Steve Greer. And I did also want to acknowledge our City Parks Division, Creeks Division, our City Fire Department, and City Water Resources Division for coordinating and collaborating with us throughout the entire process. So here we are, we're ready to move into construction, make this dream and vision a reality. And so I would like to start by recognizing our construction team, which will be led by the city's project manager, Alex Ubaldo. CA Rasmussen will be our contractor. Philippine Engineering will be providing construction management and inspection services. And Rincon Consulting will be providing environmental monitoring and mitigation services. And what everyone wants to know, what can we expect during construction? This is a really large project that covers a 2.6 mile long corridor. So it's a major undertaking, and it won't be without a few disruptions here and there. So we do truly thank you in advance for your patience. We anticipate construction will take about 18 months, depending on the weather this winter season. And although we don't have an exact start date quite yet, we do anticipate construction to begin in late August, most likely starting on the Modoc corridor. I did want to mention, we're also coordinating closely with another construction project that's getting ready to start on Modoc to replace the water mains in that area. And that work will be done by a separate contractor. So we're working really closely with them to make sure that we're not in each other's way. The work is going to be phased to limit the disruption as much as we possibly can, but you should expect to see a lot of heavy equipment in the area, narrower lanes and slower speeds through the work area, shifted lanes, temporary lane closures, and bikes and vehicles should expect to share the road through the work zones. Public notifications, both before and during construction, will be made through a variety of methods, including mailers, door hangers from the contractor for those that live immediately adjacent to the construction site, postings on nextdoor.com, construction signage in the area, as well as our project website at www.santabarbaraca.gov/lpbike. And you can find more information about the project at our website, and you can also subscribe to receive updates. We anticipate providing at least monthly construction updates with progress photos, so be sure to check out the website and subscribe if you're interested. So once again, it's just been really an honor to play a part in this really exciting community project, and I can't wait to celebrate the project completion at a ribbon cutting ceremony, and hopefully in person with all of you. So thanks again to the entire team. And with that, I'd like to welcome Councilmember Eric Friedman.
Thank you, Ashley. Sorry about that. My mute was off. Thank you for that great presentation, and it's really exciting to be here today as part of the kickoff for the construction of this project. Just a couple of weeks ago, I rode my bike down along that path to go to Royal Borough Beach, and I got to say, it's the last time I will ever do that. It is very scary to ride there, and I would never allow my kids to ride there until this project is done. So I'm looking forward to being able to ride down to the beach with my own kids. I do want to start by talking about our comprehensive goal of the city's circulation element, which states the following. While sustaining or increasing economic vitality and quality of life, Santa Barbara should be a city in which alternative forms of transportation and mobility are so available and so attractive that the use of the automobile is a choice, not a necessity. The Las Positas and Modoc Roads Multi-Use Path project provides a high quality, active choice for local and regional community connections. We start with that because I think that really sums up what we're trying to achieve here. And it's part of a long-standing part of Santa Barbara, and we want to promote alternative transportation and active and healthy lifestyles, which is found throughout different elements of our general plan and just the policies that we have. I want to talk briefly about some of the connections. There's both local connections that this project will have and regional connections. The local connections will include the Hidden Valley area along Modoc, all the way down Las Positas, and it includes Elings Park, the Allen Road neighborhood, all the way down to the beach. And it creates a very safe interchange at the Modoc Las Positas intersection, which is much needed because it is a very difficult intersection to navigate for bicyclists. And having that safe element will allow us to really get down to the beach area in alternate ways. And that beach in particular is one of our most, Royal Borough, one of our most popular beaches, and there is very limited parking there. So it just provides another opportunity for families to access the beach or individuals. We also are working along the west side on enhancing opportunities for the west side, again, through active transportation grants. So I want to thank our state legislature and Caltrans and all those who make that available and that great partnership we have. And we are building the infrastructure on the west side along Gillespie and San Pasqual streets. And what that will allow is ultimately up Modoc on that side of Las Positas. And the goal will be to be able to ride all the way from the west side up Modoc, past the junior high, all the way up to Las Positas and down into the beach. So we will connect the west side all the way to the beach. In addition, some other recent improvements that we've had and are continuing is over the Mitchell-Terena Street Bridge, which then goes along into downtown in the east side, in particular Santa Barbara High, Santa Barbara Junior High, and into some of our green bike paths that we have. So with this project and the west side projects that we have coming down the pipe, we will connect from all the way from the east side, downtown, west side, all the way to Hidden Valley, all the way to the beach. And it will create this wonderful network of bike paths that just will benefit our community in so many ways and allow us to really bike within different neighborhoods, and we get to know our different neighborhoods in a much more intimate sense on our bicycles. The other component, which is also exciting, is that the County of Santa Barbara, through an active transportation grant, has a project that's coming online in about 3 years, 2023, 2024, which will connect the rest of Modoc all the way to basically the Oberon Trail, which goes out to UCSB. So we will be connecting that piece as well. So we will have this great infrastructure, which would put me to the regional connections. And what that allows it to do is we will, when this is done, have a bike path from basically UCSB all the way through the city of Santa Barbara, down to the beach, down to the coastal areas. We're also working on an active transportation ground along Cliff Drive to connect the waterfront and Mesa neighborhoods. And then if you continue down past the city of Santa Barbara, we're working on expanding the bike paths in Carpinteria along Santa Claus Lane as part of the Highway 101. And we'll get all the way to the Ventura County line and beyond from projects that have already been in. So it's dozens and dozens of miles of coastal access on our bikes that is going to be great for our community. So it's really exciting to be a part of this, and I can't wait for 18 months from now to be able to travel it. So in summary, the city, we are really excited and grateful for the Active Transportation Grant Program and how it's transforming our city, as we can hopefully see very soon. It'll be here. And this project would not have been able to come to fruition, most of these projects, without this funding source. And so the next slide is community engagement, and we have a short video from some of our community liaisons to share their perspectives about the project.
And if you're joining us, please turn your audio on and expand the screen so you can hear this wonderful project.
This used to be a state highway. And the way that people are driving on it, you feel like that. It's higher speed, there's higher volumes. We're at one of the most recent improvements that the city has made, which is the Cliff Drive roundabout. This roundabout was actually built intentionally to connect to future separated bike facilities. And that's why where we're actually on is a sidewalk that is wide enough to handle both bike and walking traffic to help bikes navigate the roundabout intersection. And this intersection also helps the congestion throughout the day with the free moving. These type of improvements and a separated bike facility along Las Positas is an important improvement for the livability, for the accessibility of these spaces for our residents.
I've biked it, I've walked it a couple of times, and I'll tell you, there have been some very serious accidents, grave accidents on Las Positas in particular, which I think has deterred a lot of us from biking and walking this route. Cars are going 50 plus miles an hour down this road, and it's nerve-wracking. So I think what's going to happen as a result of this, and fully anticipate that more of us will begin biking and walking this connection here. And in a time that we're all going through right now with COVID, I think the appreciation that we've all had for safe trails and pathways and public open space has only increased. So the timing of this project couldn't be more important to this community.
And all the community outreach efforts that the city of Santa Barbara did to get public input about these new facilities. Coast communicated with the schools in the city of Santa Barbara to try to get more people involved in that public comment process, because we want everybody to be happy. It's not just something for car drivers, it's not just something for bikes and peds, it's a vision of a community of people being active, of enjoying this beautiful city outside. So there's a lot of community input that the city wants to communicate to residents, and also hear from residents about what they think about the projects.
The multi-use path has been envisioned since the early 70s. Different generations of advocates have worked on this project. Only recently did the city get the right-of-way of Las Positas, and only more recently was there state funding and a community process that led to this design. And I'm really honored to be amongst my former colleagues from the early 2000s, from the 90s, and from the 70s. some cases people I never met, who all together have advocated for a community project, which I think is going to leave a positive legacy for Santa Barbara's people.
I'd just like to say on behalf of the Mesa Architects that we owe a tremendous amount of appreciation, a big thank you to city staff, public works staff in particular, city leadership for making this project happen. They have put in countless hours, I'm sure, in terms of engineering, but also securing the state and city funding for projects such as this, roundabout included. I mean, in the last 10 years, the amount of effort and the success as a result of that effort is so evident, and just way to go, Santa Barbara, and thank you very much for making our community even safer and more enjoyable when it comes to biking and walking.
I'm super excited. Yeah, it's really great. It's not, I mean, it's for transportation for people so that more vulnerable users such as pedestrians and bicyclists, but even elderly people on bikes, kids on bikes, those people can now get to places they need to go without getting in a car, or some places they need to go. This will really help that. It's not going to be a stressful experience to ride your bike to Hendry's Beach or to Ealings Park or to La Cumbre Junior High. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful day. This is a good way to start or end. This feels like it gives people a completely new option for getting to where you want to go without having to get in your car. And I really think a lot of people want that.
Thanks, Councilmember Friedman. Were you all done there? So I have with me in my office here, Councilmember Oscar Gutierrez. You can see him in the background, and we both live on the west side, and we're really grateful for the benefit to the west side community. And I'm hereby challenging him to a road race when it's done. You've heard it here, throwing it down. Oscar, you and I are gonna get on our bikes and race. Okay. Let me find my remarks, because it's my honor to call Assemblymember Monique Lemon to our virtual microphone. And she always looks out for our interests and our well-being in Sacramento. She lives here in our community, and she may be using the multi-use path herself. We'll hear about that maybe. Thanks for all you're doing for us, Assemblymember, all your regular duties, and now especially responding to the pandemic at the state level. Thank you. Welcome, State Assemblymember Monique Lemon. Do we have audio? Okay.
I think it's an organizer had muted me, but we got it. So I want to thank you all. Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's great to be here with you and council members on this particular project. And as I reflect in my time in the state legislature, I think of 2017 and when we had a dynamic conversation about SB1 and a transportation bill and what that could do for communities. And we've spent the last 20 minutes or so hearing from council members who were elected from their community, from you, Mayor, that was elected by the community, and now this video with lots of members of the community talking about the impact that this project will have on the community, on them, on children, on the future. And so what excites me is that after a dynamic conversation in the California State Legislature about SB1, that I see projects like this that are a contribution and investment of SB1 funding, the transportation infrastructure, right? We couldn't have done it alone. This is a great example of something that was, a commitment from the city and a commitment from the state to get the funding needed to do something like this. It's not always easy. These are sometimes very tough conversations. And when we have them initially, we're not really sure what these projects are going to look like. But I'm excited because, as some of you may know, I grew up both on the west side and east side of Santa Barbara. And then I happened to work at UCSB. So you all have now designed a whole project where I can get on a bike and go through the neighborhoods I grew up in, but also end up at my former place of work. I think that's really exciting for the community. I have had the opportunity to work with Vision Zero because we do want pedestrian safety, and that's so important. That is part of how we get more people to walk, and bike in our community. We have to make sure it's safe. So this is a great project, and I'm excited that in some small way, the state legislature was able to really invest in projects like this in local communities that will make an impact. Special thanks, of course, to the city of Santa Barbara, to all the engineers, designers, everybody involved, but also to state agencies, the California Transportation Committee, Caltrans, and California Active Transportation Project. This is a grant that we're very excited to be able to see. And again, I'm looking forward to the day where we don't just do the groundbreaking, but we do the ribbon cutting, right? Because we will have a way for our community to get from point A to point B in a much safer way. So congratulations. Thank you everyone for being involved. And I'm glad to see that we collaboratively have been able to make this happen.
We're honored to have you with us today. Yes, applause. If we're ready for the culmination of this virtual ceremony, which is the virtual groundbreaking video, I say thanks to our sponsors. Take it away with the video.
Just takes a minute to load.
Welcome everyone to celebrate the groundbreaking for this 2.6 mile pathway, which has been part of the city's vision since the 1974 bicycle master plan. We're grateful to the state of California for the active transportation and grant monies, grateful for our staff getting those monies for us to build this project, which we think will be done in 18 months. It will connect local and regional destinations, will help people feel safer on their bicycles, and will encourage bicycle commuting and bicycle recreation use. So we'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown if everyone's ready. 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Okay, that's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the public who is here. Public Works, yay. Everyone, stay healthy, ride your bikes, eat your vegetables, and take care. And this ceremony is concluded. Woo!